Benelux edition. We had qualifying earlier this morning, which was unbelievable, by the way. Qualifying 1 and qualifying 2 were both absolutely ridiculous. And while it was indeed wet conditions with a drying track, so half of qualifying 1 was done on wet tyres for the most part, and then a few drivers decided to indeed go onto dry tyres, which was a very good choice. Luke Hartog then taking pole position. But the big story is Maurice Schuring then, who's second in this championship by 2 points, is down in 5th position. So he's the second of our 2 pro drivers. But in between them, they have got some absolute superstars coming through. So Jos Janssen will start on P2. Then we have got Jill Smits in P3. And Huub van Eindhoven will start in P4. So that's the 3 drivers between the 2 pro drivers here today. So should make for a very interesting race. It's now dry conditions here at Zolder. And well, looking very much forward to it, as indeed all of the grid girls walk off of the grid. We've got a couple of minutes until we do indeed start our race here. Wow, exciting times indeed. But it was a great qualifying session, not only in qualifying 1, but qualifying 2 as well. Luke Hartog has taken pole position for both races. Race 2 will be tomorrow morning, and then we have indeed got the 55-minute race, which will be tomorrow afternoon as well. So, yes, plenty of action coming your way this weekend. So make sure that you do indeed stick around. And if you want to come and get involved in the conversation, hashtag AskLuke on Twitter, at ActRollVision, or indeed Instagram as well. It's the same, at ActRollVision on Instagram. If you guys want to come and get involved with the conversation, you can absolutely do so. I will try my best to respond to you, who you're supporting, where you're watching from, all of that good stuff. The last time we saw these within the DTM .grid on the website was at the Nürburgring, and they were exceptional races. So I'm expecting very much the same to be happening today. But here is your pollster to then, Luke Hartog. He did a 135.226 for qualifying number 1. He's your second driver then. Jan Janssen. 137.4, and you could, there you go, 2.2 seconds was the difference. And that's just how the track changed. Track changed so quickly in the first qualifying session. In 3rd position then we've got the Verhoevens. That'll be Jackson Verhoeven there, as you can see on his helmet. Then we've got Huub van Eindhoven, who was on pole position about 3 times during the session. It just kept changing so quickly. And then we've got Maurice Schuring in P5. Again, a huge advantage from Luke Hartog, 4.6 seconds. But again, the track just was changing so quickly. Next up then, Gilles Smits, racing for Speed Lover. We're all speed lovers. As I said earlier, we're all team Speed Lover at this point. As you can see, there's some cloud in the sky here, so maybe we may see some change of weather during this race. It's very dark, actually. And then we've got Michael Cool in P7. Yeah, maybe we do see a change of weather today. Tomorrow is going to be proper rain weather, so that's going to be an interesting day for sure. Van Dierendonk then will start on the 4th row in P8. And then we've got Barenbrug in P9 in the number 5. Thumbs up, we'd love to see it. Getting some sweet camera shots for Instagram, no doubt. Good to see some people watching at the track. Here we go then. Now you can hear the roar of the Porsche engines. Steam lowered. It does look like there's the potential for a bit of rain here, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go then. Race number 1 of the Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux edition. Here at Zolder. Got a formation lap to go through first. Exciting times. It should be an absolute cracker of a race. If qualifying was anything to go by, absolutely anything and everything will happen. We've got GT3 Cup cars, and we've got GT4 cars. So our two classes of car in this championship. Okay. So it's hard to take So it's Zolder, race number 1 of the Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. And I am excited for this. So here is your grid then for race number 1. Luke Hartog took pole position. Then we've got Jos Janssen in second, Verhoeven in third. And well, again, they're always too quick for me. What can I do? Not much I can do, really. There is your 15 drivers. They gave me about 10 seconds to read out one of the names. But we will go through it properly in a minute. Don't worry about it. It's fine. So as they exit then out of the first chicane over the crest before they have the left-hander that just slides away from the car. It's so hard to keep traction. But also, you've got to set yourself up for the second chicane as well by being as far left as possible. Very, very tough circuit. So here we are then, ladies and gentlemen. 4 kilometers long for Zolder. One of the shorter circuits on the calendar, but still pretty cool nonetheless. As you see, the cloud is up in the air. Whether that's going to produce some wet weather during this race, I'm not too sure. Luke Hartog then the first to line up here on our grid. It is a standing start. Jos Janssen then in second position. Then we've got the Verhoevens. Jackson Verhoeven in third spot. Huub van Eindhoven is in fourth. Watch out though for Maurice Schuring. 15 years old, one of the pro drivers in this championship. One of 2 starts from P5. There's the green flag then. We're about to go racing here at Zolder. There's 1, there's 2, there is 3, 4. All the red lights are there, and we are green light racing here. 30 minutes of racing action then in the Porsche Cup Benelux. And you see there that already Maurice Schuring trying to make a move up the inside potentially of a couple of spots, then had to decide against it. And actually he's already ahead of Jackson Verhoeven. So Verhoeven's lost a position. Huub van Eindhoven already up to P2, then from P4. Great stuff there. Look at Maurice Schuring, though, already up to P3 as well. Maurice Schuring is already making moves here, ladies and gentlemen. Luke Hartog's got to try and take full advantage of Maurice not being anywhere near him on the grid to start off with. As they come around turn number 3 then, and then got the long jaunt down towards the first of the very, very sketchy chicanes here at Zolder. You can see the number 5 there pulling out Bas Barenbrug, trying his level best to make a move on Michael Kuhl, and not quite close enough as it stands. Head down towards the left-hander before the second of the chicanes. And well, Maurice Schuring's made the biggest moves here. Side-by-side action there between the number 69 Thierry sorry, I can never say his name. Thierry Vermeulen then making a bit of a mistake there, wondering whether he might have to give that position back, as he's actually may have just gained a bit of an advantage there on Alexander Godin. Godin squeezing him into that there. Maybe that's going to be looked upon kindly. He might get away with that. I'm not too sure. But nice little replay there. But as we come up towards the final couple of corners then of this race, it is indeed Luke Hartog that leads. Huub van Eindhoven is in second, and Maurice Schuring up to third then. So 2 spots gained each for second and third. And as we come across the line here, we've actually got Jan Janssen maybe having a little nibble there. No, he's not. So Smith's already up into P4 by the looks of things. And actually, Jackson Verhoeven has moved down the order. So he's moved down into P7. We've then got Barenbrug in 9th, Loet in 10th, Vermeulen is in 11th. We've got Godin in 10th, Van Rie, Van Leer, and Godin then are rounding out all of your drivers here. Down in towards turn number 3 there. Beautiful bit of work then by the Van Hoovens. Jackson Van Hooven now making his way up. He had a terrible start to this race, and now he's moving forward here. Jan just made a bit of a mistake. The front 3, though, pretty close as it stands. To come through the first chicane. Again, lots of curbs being used there. Weren't seeing that in qualifying, just for the pure fact that it was very wet. It's very tough to not be able to do so. Oh, we'll look at that. Michael Cool around the outside then. Again, such a tough corner to not only negotiate at full power, but also set yourself up for the second of the chicanes, let alone making an overtake for it. And Michael Cool showing off his skill set there. Superb stuff. As he goes around the outside. Now he can move forward here. And actually, you've got Van Dierendonk just up ahead of him in number 63. Michael Cool here having a nice recovery drive as it stands. 27 minutes to go. And it's still then Luke Hartog who leads the way. And actually, it's very similar gaps here. Looks like Huub van Eindhoven settled into a very nice rhythm after making up 2 positions. We've also got, of course, got Schuring then 1.4 seconds off the lead of this race. Smith, Verhoeven, Van Dierendonk, Cool, Janssen then as your top 8. Janssen's dropped from P2 to 8th. Barenbrug then, Loet, Vermeulen in a P11. And then we've got Van Rie, Godin, Van Leer, Godin again as your GT4s come through the line here. So Maurice Schuring just doesn't seem to be able to have the pace to really pile any pressure on Huub van Eindhoven. So Van Eindhoven doing a stellar job as it stands. Again, seeing lots of curb being used here. And Maurice Schuring's got a very good punchy exit out of that corner there, to be fair. Let's check out the start once again. So we get going here, and wow, look at this. Huub van Eindhoven and Maurice Schuring, they made it full wide down towards turn number 1. So we see this again. So it's a terrible start then from Jackson and Jan. And Huub van Eindhoven straight up into P2. Yeah, he's up the inside then of Jan. Jan makes a mistake. He hits too much curb on the exit. Again, there might be some water still on those curbs. And then Maurice Schuring's like, well, I'm coming through as well. Round the outside, beautiful bit of work. Pinches him onto the apex, forces him to not be on the power. And yeah, Jan, unfortunately, has just been absolutely mugged off through the final of the chicanes here. As we are on board with a replay. This is live. I'm sure this is live. Yeah, it is. Absolutely live. Hartog leads by 0.9 seconds now. Schuring just dropping off the pace a little bit as well here. So Hartog's really hit a nice rhythm. Smith's then 4.9 back. So the front 3 are on their own as it stands. Verhoeven, Van Dierendonk then round out your 5th and 6th positions. And yeah, Luke Hartog with an opportunity here again because Maurice Schuring did not qualify well today. He started in P5. It's given Luke Hartog an opportunity. Don't get me wrong. We know how fast he is. He's 2 points clear in the championship as well. But you've got to take your opportunities when it becomes a little bit easier, especially with Schuring only qualifying P5. There's Van Dierendonk there and Michael Cool. Michael Cool doing his best work at this point. Try and gain a position. As he did so earlier on. I want it to be a little bit easier than it was previously, though, because that will cost a lot of time and also very scary to make overtakes around the outside down towards the second chicane. It's just not really a place you normally make overtakes, that's for sure. In towards the final sector, then we go. And actually, you can see Maurice Schuring now is very, very close to Huub van Eindhoven. It's as close as he's been so far, for sure, through the final couple of corners. And again, what sort of pace has Maurice Schuring got? Well, it's surely not enough to make an overtake as it stands. Front 3 very, very close. But then we go back to P4 and P5. They're also very close. It's Smits and Verhoeven. So P4 and P5, Van Dierendonk P6, Michael Cool in P7, Janssen then in P8, just dropping even further back again. An exceptional qualifying to be P2. Just doesn't seem to have the pace when it comes to the race here. Baron Brug then in 9th. Loet is in 10th. So that is your GT3 Cup cars. As we're watching here, Thierry Vermeulen come through the second of our chicanes here. I think we're just going to get a nice sexy slow-mo. Yeah, nothing wrong happening there, that's for sure. You've got the very same happening a little bit further back. So this is Stephen Van Ree at the head of this little pack. Alexander Godin then in behind. And then we've got Sven Van Leer just in behind them as well. So action all over the circuit here at Zolder. This is race 1 of 3 this weekend. So race 2 will be tomorrow morning with all of these drivers. And then we've got race 3, which is a longer format race, which will be without the 2 pro drivers. So race 3 tomorrow will be the Sprint Challenge Benelux, but it's going to be without Luke Hartog and indeed Maurice Schuring. Across the line we go then. 1.2 seconds the advantage. So Hartog is just eking out this gap every lap, a tenth or so. He's doing enough at this point with 22 minutes to go. I think as soon as maybe Schuring makes an opportunity for himself on an overtake here on Huub van Eindhoven, Luke Hartog may be needing to up his pace a touch here, because I think that Schuring has some real serious race pace here. It's just all about whether he can unlock that. He's got to get past Huub van Eindhoven though. Getting a very good exit here down in towards that second chicane. He's as close as he has been so far here. Is there an opportunity for a late dive? No, definitely not close enough here, is he? No, he's not. So Huub van Eindhoven defends that nicely. But he loses a little bit of time on the exit here. They come over the crest once again. And they are super, super close right now. Huub van Eindhoven just doing enough as it stands, though. So lots of curbs going to be grabbed here. This is a fascinating battle here again. Maurice Schuring, 15 years old. If we come on towards the back straight then, and actually Schuring just lost a little bit of time here. We've got this battle happening though. This is a pretty cool battle. Smits then just ahead of Jackson Verhoeven. So both of these drivers have fallen back a little bit during the race, but they're making their way back through now. Well, can Jackson improve then? Started P3 on the grid, now down to P5. 1.6 seconds the advantage now between Hartog and Eindhoven, but he's got a lot of pressure in behind as Eindhoven, so he's going to be struggling to go forward. We've got Michael Kool here, then just in behind Van Dierendonk. Again, Van Dierendonk, the best name in motorsports for me. Jump over the curve. Wow, that's not good. That's going to have lost a load of time there for sure. So yeah, Schuring was very, very close then to Huub van Eindhoven. But then that one mistake is going to cost him maybe about 3 laps work. So now really needs to get the hurry on. 2/3 of the race still remains. Still plenty of time. But again, not as close behind here. And this gives an opportunity for Huub van Eindhoven just to think about going forwards. Maybe upping his pace. Definitely the 3 standouts in the field as it stands. Another mistake there by Maurice Schuring. I wonder if there's an issue with the car. Has he got a puncture of some sort? We'll definitely be able to tell into the next braking zone. So Hartog then comes through. Huub van Eindhoven through as well. And there is Schuring. Now maybe he's okay. But yeah, 2 big mistakes there on that lap. And I think you'll find that Huub van Eindhoven might be a little bit closer than what he has been to our race leader. So here's the mistake then. So he runs out wide, doesn't hit the apex here, and he's just, yeah, he had to abort the corner. Good presence of mind, though, to not try and make the corner and potentially damage the car. And here's another mistake. So again, just missing the apex, runs a bit too far wide, and there's definitely water on that curve the further you go out. So you don't really want to be hitting that curb. And I was saying that the gap was closer between Huub van Eindhoven and Luke Hartog. I'll take that back because Hartog is in a different time zone right now. He is checking out. He's off to try and pick up another victory here. Again, leading this championship by 2 points to Maurice Schuring, who's currently in 3rd position. See Van Donk and Michael Kool having a nice little battle as well. Van Donk, though, holding firm as it stands. Again, looks like Maurice Schuring's just not able to recover here. Maybe he's ghosted himself a little bit. Got a lot of work to do if he wants to get into that second position. And you can see here, Luke Hartog's just getting more and more confident with the car, more and more confident with the curbs, more and more confident with the extremities of the circuit. Indeed, it's been a wet circuit all morning here, but now it's a lot drier, of course. Although Maurice Schuring has found out the hard way that there are certain parts of the circuit that are still very, very wet. There you go, look at that. Luke Hartog able to take so much curb with that Porsche. Incredible stuff. So with 17 minutes still remaining of this race, is Luke Hartog in the lead. Huub van Eindhoven in second, and then Maurice Schuring in third. Schuring doesn't seem to be closing in. It's running out of time now. And we're heading towards the halfway point of this race. It took him a good 3 or 4 laps to really get underneath that rear wing of Huub van Eindhoven before. So he needs to get the hurry up here for sure. Smits then holding on to that advantage over Jackson Verhoeven. As you can see there in the background. Coming through the chicane right now. So Smits has done a very, very good job. Then we've got Van Donk and Michael Kool battling it out for 6th and 7th position respectively. So can Van Donk hold on? And you can see that there's just a little bit of water being kicked up the further you run wide around that corner there. Up towards the final chicane, onto the back straight. So you've got to be really, really careful. And actually, you can see Smits has just gained a little bit of an advantage from that. So we've seen 2 drivers do that now. Jackson Verhoeven and Maurice Schuring. They've both run out a little bit far too wide, and yeah, you've got to be careful of that. That could be a race ender as well. Run too far wide, hit slick tyres onto a wet surface, and it can be game over. They've both saved it. They've recovered okay. Van Eindhoven, by the way, is probably the quickest man on circuit as it stands. He's got it back down to around about 1.6 seconds, so not having to defend from Maurice Schuring behind means he's able to go and close up potentially towards the leader. So maybe Van Eindhoven has some serious race pace to unlock here, halfway in this race. Is it going to be a possibility, though? Is it going to be a possibility for him to indeed push his way towards the front? Looks like Jackson Verhoeven then starting to make his way towards the back of Jill Smits' rear end. Again, around circuits such as Zolder, you know, as soon as you offset somebody and they're making mistakes by not hitting apexes or they're running ever so slightly wide, it's one of those technical tracks where you lose so much time. It's all about a game of cat and mouse at most points here. You can see there, Van Donk runs a little bit wide, makes a mistake. And Michael Kool then has just got to keep piling that pressure on. This is the battle now for 6th position. And Van Donk holding on to it dearly. See all the teams there checking out the action. All a bit nervous for sure. But Michael Kool is as close as he's been all race here. So Van Donk with a lot of pressure to contend with. Through turn 1 up towards turn number 2. Turn 2 is such an open entry, but the exit, the pinch point, so easy to run wide there into the grass. There's a lot of corners like that. You're leaning on the weight transfer of the car so much around a circuit such as Zolder. So you have to maximise every single corner. You have to maximise every single inch of the circuit, but you're so close from hitting grass, hitting gravel at every opportunity. So in towards then the first of our crazy chicanes here at Zolder, and Michael Kool is very close then. In behind Van Donk. See the battle for P4 is close as well. And you see now Van Donk is being forced to go defensive. He doesn't want that Porsche to make a late lunge up the inside, and it's going to cost him time. So here we go. Michael Kool has spent maybe 5-6 laps setting himself up for a potential opportunity, and actually he makes a mistake there. So the jet washed air running over that Porsche in behind may have cost him here. Van Donk, is he going to... Oh, he's run wide again, has he not? No, he's all good. Looked like he's going to run wide there ever so slightly. But Van Dierendonk, from going defensive, has recovered really well during this lap. And will hold on to that P6. Through that final chicane they come once again. 12 minutes, 50 seconds to go. I mean, yeah, Van Dierendonk's got a bigger gap than he has done for a long time now. So it's gone from the start of last lap, where it looked like Michael Kuhl might be able to make a move, to Van Dierendonk recovering beautifully well, holding up a few tenths of a second and saying, yeah, I'm off. Great stuff. So Michael Kuhl's got to do all that hard work once again. So let's check out then what the actual lead is. 2 seconds now, Hartog to Van Eindhoven. Schuring 1.7 seconds behind Eindhoven as well. Smits then is in 4th position. And then we've got Jackson Verhoeven, who is in 5th. Then we've got this battle here for 6th position. Van Dierendonk versus Michael Kuhl. Over the crest they come. And Kuhl is close once again. He's going to force Van Dierendonk to go defensive here. Oh, nearly the rear just ever so slightly stepped out. And Michael Kuhl's going to have a very good run through the chicane. Is he going to be quite close enough? Not quite here, but is there going to be a late lunge potentially in towards the final sector? Again, not quite close enough. So Van Dierendonk's recovery has been brilliant. You can see here he's trying to break that toe as well. And he's gone very acutely into this corner. He's going to run a little bit deep, I would imagine. Michael Kuhl, again, not quite close enough to take advantage. Not on the power early enough to take advantage either. Along the back straight they come. And here you go, you can see, closed up through the first chicane. Where was the mistake? Maybe a bit too much curve there from Van Dierendonk. There we go. So, indeed, losing out a couple of hundredths for sure. And then through the second part as well. Both taking exactly the same line there. So there was the mistake. Didn't lose the position though. So Michael Kuhl still got to work hard here. Now he's very, very close. Bit of a mistake there as the car just runs it a little bit too wide through turn 2. And now they come up towards the right-hander before this long back straight. Turn 3 up towards turn 4 and 5. And there you go. Michael Kuhl set him up. He is going to be side by side, but he's going to have to go all the way around the long side. He's done it. He's already around the outside. He is. So Van Dierendonk then is covered off by Michael Kuhl. And wow, it's taken, what, 8-9 laps from Michael Kuhl to set him up. But he's got that job done. Superb stuff there by Michael Kuhl. A very, very patient drive. Very cool, calm and collected drive, if I might add. And now it's his turn to be a little bit more defensive. What sort of pace does he have? Is he able to drive away now? Or is Van Dierendonk going to be able to potentially retake that position with 10 minutes to go? So 2/3 of this race already done and dusted. And already you can see that Michael Kuhl is just driving away. So Van Dierendonk, he fought valiantly, just wasn't going to be quite enough. So here we go. Sets himself up beautifully by just going and opening up turn 3 a little bit better. Forcing Van Dierendonk to go defensive. And again, just wasn't able to lay that power down quick enough. And Michael Kuhl, you can just see, just steps across into the middle of the circuit. So if Van Dierendonk wants to make a late lunge up the inside under braking, it means he's going to be super slow out of the exit of the corner. So he would have got the position anyway. Doesn't matter. It's all done. We're on board then with, I believe, Sven Van Leer. Ayrton Redant will be racing tomorrow. Redant Racing. As the front 3, you can see there on your screen. Luke Hartog still leading the way in at number 4. And then in the in P2, sorry, is Huub van Eindhoven. And then in 3rd position is Maurice Schuring. Actually, they're starting to close. Yeah, they are starting to catch up to some back markers here already. Alexander Godin is who they're catching up to right now. So Luke Hartog doesn't want any dramas right now. 8 minutes, 40 seconds to go. Just wants to be chilled out, relaxed, and yeah, no dramas at all. Although he's going to be held up towards that final chicane, I think. Ever so slightly. Should be pretty easy on the exit. But it's going to have cost him some time. Where's Huub van Eindhoven? So Van Eindhoven may have closed up ever so slightly. He's just flashed his lights there to say, don't you dare do that to me. And that's 1.5 seconds. So yeah, about 0.7 of a second lost. Although Huub's actually caught up to the back marker in a very tricky position as well. So he's probably going to lose around about the same time. We've got Smits then and Verhoeven still battling here. Smits holding on to that top 4 as it stands. And this is perfect for Morris Schuring. So Schuring then may be able to close up. Well, no, it looks like finally Van Eindhoven has got the move done. And that all green number 140. 7 minutes 40 seconds to go. Now it's the time for Morris Schuring to get this job done easily enough. Actually been let through there nicely. It's not the best place to be let through there. So I was going as far to say, if you're alongside another car, that's the hardest part of the circuit. So the car is in the corner's off camber, downhill. Not a nice place to be caught behind another car, or indeed try and make an overtake. Although say that to Michael Cool, because he seems pretty happy to go around the outside there at any point. It's all good. Again, this is the battle then for P4, and maybe the back marker could be used to Jackson's advantage right now. Jackson in behind Jill Smith. Along the back straight into that final chicane. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, number 126 then. Joss Janssen is unfortunately going to be out of this race, but in a position where we won't need a safety car. Pretty sure we're all good. Yeah, they're going to... Yeah, behind the barrier, we're all good. What's happened here then? Has there been... Oh, he's just got a loss of power, I think. Just got a complete loss of power. Falls off to one side, and fair play. Didn't affect the race at all. Figured out a position where he can just get rolled back into a safe position. Doesn't affect anybody else's race, but he's going to be gutted. Qualified second today. And unfortunately, just hasn't had the race pace. Be interesting to see if he can come back fighting tomorrow. 6 minutes left on the clock then. We just saw Steen Loet then come through for NGT Racing. There's our race leader. There is our race leader, Luke Hartog, who's now got a very comfortable advantage here. See that Morris Schuring has definitely started to close back up here. 5 minutes 30 seconds. In normal circumstances, I wouldn't say it was possible, but with Morris Schuring, I'm just not so sure. Morris Schuring has got some serious talent, ladies and gentlemen. Watch out. Remember the name. Honestly, this guy is going to go all the way to the top, in my opinion. We've got battles happening here at the back of the circuit as well. So not only is there a battle between the GT4s, but they've got the... well, it wasn't a battle, sorry. It was Luke Hartog coming through. So yeah, this is Morris Schuring's opportunity then of a P2. 4 minutes 40 seconds to go. Can he use that back marker? He's already closed up to within a second then of Van Eindhoven. Tyres are going to start to have gone off as well for sure. It's all about tyre management, of course. And there is poor Joss's car again. Well, we'll see that car again this weekend. Yeah, Morris Schuring is definitely going to be able to close up here. The battle there for P4 is still close. Verhoeven still not able to get a move done on Smits. So Van Eindhoven should get past the 72 pretty easily there. He has done. Steven Van Ree. 4 minutes to go. Morris Schuring then. He's got to give everything. I know he's got two more. Oh, well, one more race actually this weekend, not two, sorry. The pros do not race in race number 3. But yeah, he's got one more race this weekend to recover. But from P5 on the grid, can he potentially get up into P2? Van Eindhoven, he started P4 on the grid. He is in P2. So these two have indeed jumped up 2 positions each. It was done on the first lap as well. Exceptional first lap from these two drivers. So again, the gap around about a second here. Morris Schuring there with a couple of flashes of the lights. We've got a replay here. Oh, there we go. So Jackson Verhoeven. Wow, so close to the wall there. Good recovery in the end. But that could have been curtains there for a potential P5. And look at this then. Morris Schuring is close now. So we've got the last couple of laps remaining of this race. And actually, as they cross the line, it will be 2 laps remaining. And I think even though Jackson made that mistake, he might have a get out of jail free card here because of the GT4 car. A slower class car. No, he's not quite going to hold him up enough here. So Jackson there, that mistake's going to cost him of a battle for P4. Although for the last 20 minutes they've been battling for P4 and he hadn't managed to make the move. So I think Smits may have had his number here today. So here we go. 2 laps remain then. And there we go. Morris Schuring is actually really close now underneath that rear wing of Hoob van Eindhoven. So patiently he's waited. Maybe he's been just keeping his tyres in check a little bit better here than Hoob. Now all of a sudden he's got more grip. He's got more range to work with. You see he's able to run out a lot wider than Hoob van Eindhoven. I think Van Eindhoven maybe a bit of a sitting duck here. Wonder if there might be even a potential issue. He just cannot get onto the power early enough here. So Morris Schuring then is right in that slipstream here. Is he going to make a move up the inside towards the chicane? He's going for it. Hoob van Eindhoven has to let him through. And wow, there we go. What a move that was in the end. So Morris Schuring will take P2 here. And well, can Hoob van Eindhoven try and stick with him? Just don't think he's got the tyres. Oh, big lock up there by Morris Schuring. That's not going to have done him any favours for sure. But with 1 minute 12 seconds to go, we have had our move for second position. Which didn't look like for the first half of this race that Morris Schuring had that pace. But he certainly has it now. Hoob van Eindhoven, though, still trying to force a mistake here. Still trying to stick with him. Great stuff from these two. And at this stage of the race, looks like Schuring's got some serious pace. I wonder whether he's not going to be able to catch up to the leader for sure, but you know, if he had this pace for the entirety of the race, every reason to suggest he could have gone out and won this race. So here we go. Again, very, very similar to what we saw earlier on from Michael Cool. Just steps the car out, sets himself up nicely, and then just get on the brakes late. Force Hoob not to be able to turn in. Hit the apexes. You're going to lose a little bit of time, of course, but ultimately, as long as you're in front of another driver, P1 was always not in the offering. So here we go. He goes defensive. There's the lockup. Front left. Just locking up here. But he's all good. So we're on to the final lap of today's race then, ladies and gentlemen. It's looking very good for Luke Hartog. Car 72 was in the incorrect grid position, by the way, so they've got themselves a 5-second penalty. And we've had a few warnings for track limits, but that's the only penalty we've had. As we come up then towards the final couple of corners, and while there's been no real pressure put onto Luke Hartog, he has done the job in hand here. Around the final corner, it will be another victory. Leads the championship by 2 points before today's race, but here in the Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. First race at Zolder, Luke Hartog will take the checkered flag. In second position, then it will be Morris Schuring. Waited late to get the job done, but he did indeed do so. Van Eindhoven will be on the podium. We've then got Smits, who does hold on. Verhoeven is in P5. And then we've got the battle between Michael Cool, who finally made the overtake. He was behind Van Dierendonk for such a long time. Van Dierendonk not able to respond. He will finish just in behind him. What a great race that was. That's race 1 of 3 this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Remember that. Tomorrow morning, we've got race number 2. We had qualifying this morning for that. And then tomorrow afternoon, to finish off the whole weekend, we have got race number 3, where the 2 pro drivers will not be in that race. So, yeah, very, very interesting indeed. Across the line we go. And yeah, what a race it was. looks like we may have just finished this race just before the weather decided to come in. So there's no more racing action happening here today now. That's it. There's only two classes of car, the DTMs and the Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. Again, very thankful that both of those classes are here. Currently what's going on in the world. So, yeah, great stuff from not only the teams, the drivers, but the organisation of the actual championships. So big shout out to everybody involved. It's great to see some motorsport happening around the world, as indeed it is day to day at this point. Things are changing. But we've got some action. So they all embark upon their little formation lap. All the marshals there waving. So especially the marshals. Marshals need a huge shout out. They've done a sensational job every single week that I've been involved, that's for sure. Luke Hartog then takes the win. 20 laps it was in total. Schuring in second. Van Eindhoven in third. Smits in fourth. Verhoeven fifth. We've then got Kool in sixth. Van Dierendonk, Ramberg in seventh and eighth position. In the GT4s then we've got Van Ree, Godin, Van Leer is your top three. But here is your race winner then, Luke Hartog, who will pick up a sensational victory, a very dominant victory, and he'll pick up a nice trophy as well. Seems pretty happy with that for sure. Again, didn't really have too much pressure on him, but that's just because of his own ability. Different level today. Absolutely over the moon and fully deserved the result. And there are your podium sitters then in the middle. Luke Hartog. Maurice Schuring then in second spot. And then we've got in third position, Huub van Eindhoven. Anyway, I'm going to leave you now with the podium ceremonies. Hopefully you've enjoyed that today. We've got more racing action coming your way tomorrow with the Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux and the Sprint as well. We've got two races coming up for you tomorrow. So make sure that you do indeed tune in. And I've been Luke Crane then, and I'll see you all next time.
Following the